Hi, so today's video is this sewn mouth thing that I got going on, which was inspired by Karolina Maria. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I've left a link to her video in the description box below, but I thought I'd do this video because it looked like a cool makeup look to do. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So I'm going to start by grabbing liquid latex. Obviously this is a pretty basic thing now. I'm going to put this all over my mouth area. You can choose to do a more exaggerated mouth by bringing it further along your cheek, but I decided to do my mouth because I'm boring like that. Oh, and just a quick little tip, you might want to have something to eat before you start doing your makeup, and something to drink as well, because it's going to be difficult to eat and drink with a bunch of hay, straw stuff covering your mouth. Next, with a piece of tissue, I don't know why I did it before my liquid latex, but I ripped it in half, and then after I put my liquid latex on my face, I then ripped it to a size that would cover my mouth so that I could stick it on there onto the latex. And then you're going to want to repeat these steps again like 2 or 3 times until you get a good thickness that is thick enough for you to cut through the paper and have blood on it and have stuff on it that it's not just going to fall apart and be all flimsy, basically. And I'd also like to take this time to thank my dad for bringing me a slice of cake whilst I have tissue paper on my mouth. So thanks, Dad. I appreciate the offer. So I'm just grabbing another slice of that tissue paper, slapping it on my mouth. Yeah. And then don't forget to cover that in latex again. After about the 3rd layer, then I began to blend the latex out into my skin to make it not look like just a random piece of tissue paper stuck on my face. Because surprisingly, that's not the look that we're going for. After you've let it dried, you want to start painting it. So I started off with a brown watercolour paint. You can use alcohol activated paint, whatever you have. And I just painted this over the cotton and latex so that it would be a little bit darker under my foundation rather than just pure white, because I'm not pure white, surprisingly. I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to give up at certain points in this makeup because I just thought it wasn't gonna look good. But I actually went back and I watched Karolina's video, and after she put on her foundation and her powder and stuff, she went over with a blush, which is what I did, and it actually made it look a little bit better. But you're not really going to see this anyway because it's going to be covered in blood and it's going to have stuff threaded through it, so it's not going to be a massive deal if it doesn't look exactly like your skin tone. This is the dangerous part, is cutting yourself a new mouth hole, so be very, very careful when doing this. Use nail scissors. I didn't have nail scissors, but I set bad examples, so just don't follow my lead all the time. Yeah, it's not on me if you cut yourself. Well, it technically is, but I don't have any money to pay for your mouth surgery, so please be careful. Then I started stretching my mouth out, my new mouth that is, to make room for the thread that I'm going to be threading through it in a minute, and it kind of just looks a bit weird. Then I took a cool brown eyeshadow from the Morphe 350 palette. Obviously if you just have a normal cool brown eyeshadow, use that. And I started to kind of dirty up my face and my skin a bit more to kind of make it all blend in and make it not look weird. Then to fill in my new mouth holes, I took a mix of red and black water activated paints, and I just filled in my new mouth holes. And I also just dirtied up the little flappy bits above my new lips, basically dirtied those up with the black face paint. And I also dragged out the face paint a little bit further than my mouth to kind of act as a little bit of a scarring effect. I don't really know what I was doing at this point, but I just rolled with it. Now then, I started to thread my mouth shut, and then I realised that I needed to put blood in first to make it, I don't know, look cool or something. I don't know. I just stopped and filled my mouth with blood, kind of. Which is a bit random, but this also made the flaps really slippery, may I just add, so I probably wouldn't recommend putting the blood in first. I'd probably sew your mouth shut and then put the blood in, but that's just personal preference. Just depends if you like working with slippery flaps, if you know what I mean. And then for the fun bit, which is sewing your mouth shut again. You want to carefully, very carefully poke holes with your scissors. Don't want anyone with an eye injury because that would be bad. And then I started just sewing my mouth shut again. I did this kind of messily and not neatly, just didn't want that look. And I just trimmed the edges to make it look a little bit shorter and messier and distressed and disgusting. And then I just used some black, brown, red watercolour paint things and some blood on a sponge, and I just painted that all over my string, all over my face, just to make it look a lot more dirtier and bloodier and disgusting. And then just because I'm extra, I drank blood from the bottle, because why not? And I also kept going back in with the black face paint just to keep adding black to make it look deeper and not just blood. And that's me pretty much done. I just kept adding more blood for cool intro shots like this one that you saw in the intro. Hey! Anyway, apart from that, I'm pretty much done. I think I added like one more piece of string just to make it look more sewn, if that makes any sense. If I was to offer any advice for this, I'd probably cut down on the blood around the face just because you can't really see what's going on. However, this is my first time attempting this. Just learning processes, so there you go. That's my first attempt at it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more videos, and I will see you in my next video.